What is up everybody, Afiq here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. So for this time around, I have this. So this is a 2012 Toyota Corolla Altis facelift. Now the Toyota Corolla has always been a very popular model. It has been sold a lot, millions units all over the world. But the Toyota Corolla for this generation is not really known for having performance on its side. Now Toyota tried to address that issue back then by launching this generation facelift model equipped with a new 2.0 liter dual VVTi engine. Without further ado, let's check out the car, and this is ABB Automotive. So before we begin, a little bit of context about the Toyota Corolla Altis. So this 2012 Toyota Altis is actually the facelifted 10th generation Corolla model that originally went on sale in Malaysia in 2008. This pre-facelift model continued selling for the next 2 years. In 2010, it received a facelift and all the engine throughout the lineup has been replaced from the ZZ series family to the ZR family, which in simple term dual VVTi. Codenamed the E150, this Corolla was selling from 106,000 ringgit all the way to 132,000 ringgit. The models back then were the 1.6E, 1.8E, 1.8G, as well as the top of the range 2.0V. The car that you see in this video today is the top of the range 2.0V. So here in the front end of the Toyota Corolla Altis, I would say this facelift for this generation, just like many Toyotas back then, it is unoffensive, quite nicely designed. The front end in particular gives that very junior Camry look. So for this top of the range 2-liter variant, you do get a slightly smoked headlamp. The headlamp is still multi-reflector HID, nice touch there. So there is the body kit. Okay, so this is an optional package back then for the Corolla Altis. Now the owner did change the grille over here. So traditionally on the stock car, you do have a single, sort of like a single bar running the length of the grille, where the lower spec model is chrome and the higher spec model is painted in sort of like a matte black. So over here, the owner has omit out completely with a new grille, so you don't have that bar anymore. And for this particular grille, I think it looks really good with the matte black finish. Lower down, only the 1.8 and the 2-liter variant Corolla features the fog lamp. In the center, you do have a very big Toyota emblem. It is in matte black. Overall, I would say that the design of the Corolla is typical of the Toyota design. So under the hood of the Toyota Corolla facelift for this generation, Toyota has equipped the Altis with the ZR family engine, which means dual VVTi as opposed to the older car's single VVTi unit. Now this car can be had with 3 displacement, 1.6, 1.8 and a 2-liter. So this particular car, being the top of the range, is the 2-liter V variant. Now in terms of power, this 2-liter model, it produces 146 PS with 187 Newton meters of torque. That power is sent through the front wheel via a 7-speed CVT transmission. Now for the 1.8 liter variant, you also get a CVT transmission, while the base 1.6 model make do with just a 4-speed automatic. Overall, the performance of this engine is quite class competitive and very close to its main competitor, the Honda Civic, during the time. So here in the side of the Toyota Corolla, in my opinion, from this angle, it really shows the junior Camry design. Okay, as you can see, proportion-wise, this sedan is actually quite long for a compact sedan. So back then, the Altis can be had with a 16-inch rim as the largest rim for the 2-liter variant. So for this particular car, as you can see at the front there, the owner has opted to change the rim to 18 inches, finished in this very nice glossy black. The owner has also lowered the car slightly to give it a slightly sportier look. Overall, the black on black is really quite nice, and I would say it is quite tastefully modified. As you can see towards the bottom of the car, it comes with the optional body kit. Besides that, you can also see that there are some chrome touches on the car. Okay, so you have chrome on the lower sill of the window, on the door handle, as well as at the side garnish over here. Definitely giving the car a little bit of bling. Overall, the design, just like the rest of the car, is unoffensive and very typical of Toyota. Okay, so the back end of the Corolla Altis is definitely my favorite angle of the car. To me, the back end of this car looks actually quite good and quite handsome, I must say. So for this particular 2.0 model, so you have the body kit, okay, the continuation of the body kit from the front, and you also have this very subtle deck lid spoiler. So the tail lamp obviously has been changed by the owner, and I don't mind. This tail lamp has a very sort of like black smoke look to it. Yeah, it fits nicely with the black and chrome trim that the owner is going for this particular car. So the emblem has been chrome delete, but then over here you do have a very big and prominent gold bar for the number plate area, which again matches the whole black and white theme that the owner is going for. Now, being a Toyota Corolla, it is also quite practical, which is something of a trump card for the Corolla. So under the trunk, this car has around 475 liters of boot space. So that is actually pretty class competitive. If you look at the time, this Honda Civic is also having the same amount of boot space. So again, this owner has also modified his stereo system. So he has upgraded to a Pioneer sound system, which is actually quite good. Again, like most cars during that time, the gooseneck hinges is the simple design. Okay, so obviously when you close the trunk, the gooseneck hinges will get in the way of some of the items. But then overall, I would say the back end of the Corolla Altis, after nearly 10 decades in the market, still looks good. Another thing to highlight, towards the bottom of the car, you do see 4 sets of reverse sensor, so giving the rear sensor quite a big range. Okay, so here inside the Corolla Altis, just like the outside, the design is very simple, clean, and unoffensive. So the Toyota Corolla Altis can be had with 2 interior color options, which is the beige and the black, like this car. So the black on this car can only be had on the 1.8G and the 2.0V. Now the dashboard itself, it is made from hard plastic. Okay, so it is a common material of a compact car during the time. Okay, so in terms of driving position, I would say good driving position. So this particular car is equipped with the power driver seat. Now in terms of driving position, the steering itself, the adjustment, now the steering can be adjusted tilt and also telescopic. Okay, so finding an adjustment for your driving position is not an issue. Now the steering that you see here has a flat bottom. Okay, so this steering is only applicable for the top of the range 2-liter V variant. The rest of the lineup has a slightly different wheel compared to this model. Now behind the steering wheel, you do have a pair of paddle shifter. So if you pop the car into the manual mode over here, you can play with the paddle shifter. Now looking at the rest of the cabin, I would say storage is quite a lot. You do have a pair of glove box as well as another one at the top over here. Now towards the center here, you do have a center console. Okay, decent size, not that big. And then towards the middle here, you do have a pair of cup holder. Okay, so what I like is that the cup holder, you can close the lid. Okay, so it will look quite neat and very decluttered. Towards the center fascia over here, you do have a nice touchscreen infotainment system. So originally Toyota does offer a touchscreen infotainment system, but this particular car, the owner has changed the head unit to a Pioneer set. Okay, so underneath it you do have automatic climate control. Okay, nice touch. And then towards the bottom part of the center fascia, you do have this very nice wood trim. Okay, and then it houses this 7-speed CVT transmission gate type shifter. Okay? So it is the gate type shifter. Alright, now the shifter itself is also leather wrapped and it has a nice stitching on top of it. So right in front of it you do have a little bit of a storage. Okay, that is where your cigarette lighter as well as some more small storage inside there. So this car being a Toyota, you do have the signal on the right and the wiper is on the left. Now the wood trim that is available in this car is also seen at the door cut over here. So at the window switch over here you do have the same wood material. You do have a very large traditional handbrake, none of that foot operated handbrake. So in front of me you do have a very clear gauge. Okay, so on the left is your tach and then on the right is your speedometer. So it is backlit, so when you switch off the engine it will dim and then you cannot see anything, but when you switch it on it lights up and giving this sort of like white backlit ambience. So overall I would say the speedometer is not as modern compared to something like the Honda Civic with that 2-tier design, but then for most Corolla owners I would say this is quite a sporty looking speedometer. Now the seat that you see here is leather seat. Okay, so for the black interior that you see over here, it comes with the leather seat. And the seat itself, I would say, posture is quite good. Although I would say like the base part of the seat, I do wish that it has slightly more thigh support. For me, the cushion is slightly short. Okay, for my liking. Now in terms of convenience, this car is equipped with power folding outside mirror. The windows are all also automatic, but only the driver's side is auto up and down. The rest are just manually operated. At the bottom part of the door, you do have some storage, okay, to put in your bottles and stuff like that. And towards the side here, you do have the switch for your VAC as well as the headlight leveling control. So this car does have a leveling control for the headlight. Overall, the dashboard of the Toyota Corolla Altis is very simple, very easy to use, and all the controls and switches are in a logic position. I would say like getting into this car, there's not much learning curve to it. So here sitting in the back of the Altis, space wise I would say quite decent. Okay, so my average height of 165cm frame fits really nicely. So this front seat is adjust to my driving position. In terms of leg room, I have no complaint. Okay, so decent amount of leg room. Headroom I would say is also quite good. My head is not touching the ceiling at all. On some compact car this can happen. Okay, so towards the top here you do have a folding style grab handle, which is quite nice. Alright, you do have the same wood trim on the front door cut at the back here as well. Okay, in terms of amenities, I would say it's quite decent for a car that was launched in 2012. You do have dual map pocket. Okay, dual map pocket. And then towards the bottom part of the door, you still have the same storage as the front, so you can put a water bottle or some of your stuff at the side there. You do have a rubbish collector over here, quite a small one. Okay, and then in the center here you do have a center armrest. Now what I like about the center armrest is that you see this, the cup holder area here, it has the same wood finishing as the dashboard and at the side of the door, which is something I only see in most luxury cars. So the cup holder itself is covered. Okay, normally it's exposed, and then if you open, it reveals a decent size cup holder. Now there's no charging port at the back here, as expected, but then the one thing I always seen in Toyota models is this thing. Okay, so I think almost all Toyota models, even until now, come equipped with this very convenient sort of like a place to hook your takeaways or your tapaos like that. Now in terms of legroom, in the center the floor is actually quite flat. Okay, so even if you get the middle seat, okay, so you do have a place to put your feet. And then even in the middle seat, my head is not touching the ceiling, which is quite surprising for a compact car. So overall, the back seat of the Toyota Corolla, just like the rest of the car, is very practical and very convenient. Okay guys, so I've been driving the Toyota Corolla Altis for a while now. Unfortunately, it has rained. Okay, so yeah, what can you do, right? You can't predict the weather. So Yeah, but then still driving this car in the rain, my first impression of this car is the 2-liter dual VVTi engine. It really pulls. Okay, the combination of that 2.0 engine with the 7-speed CVT off the line from a standstill, it just pulls. Okay, you have immediate response, and then the acceleration is really good for a 2-liter. Actually, I'm quite surprised how much performance it has. Now, this car is equipped with MacPherson strut front suspension, and the rear is using torsion beam. Okay, so but then for this car, the owner has lowered the car, so he has sport suspension on, adjustable. Okay, so I've driven this particular Corolla Altis before with stock suspension, and it is a little bit floaty, and in the corner it does roll a bit. But then thanks to this owner's modification, he has a larger 18-inch rim on, and then a more steeper suspension. Cornering ability has improved a lot on the Altis, on this car in this particular car. Now, popping into manual mode, the pedal shifter, I do like how the pedal shifter feel in my hand. It feels really solid. The gear change itself, because it's a CVT, so this it's not like a traditional automatic. The response is quite good, although there is a tad slashy delay in my opinion, but then overall okay. But this CVT transmission is definitely better, miles better compared to that old 4-speed automatic. In terms of visibility, again, not much issue as well. This car is not that, the shape of this car is actually quite simple. There's no awkward design going on. So the view forward, the rear, the view towards the back is actually quite good. Even the side window, no issue at all. Now, in terms of driving comfort, again, over here it's quite decent. The armrest, unfortunately the outer armrest is a bit hard for my liking. The center, there is a little bit of a soft touch material, but I feel like the padding is not enough. But then, now in terms of driving comfort, I would say, like sitting position wise, armrest is a little bit further than I would expected, but then it's still quite symmetrical. I can still rest my hand on the my elbow on the armrest, and then I can still touch the steering wheel. And the one thing I wish this car have is the automatic headlight and the automatic wiper. Unfortunately, this car doesn't have it. So overall, my experience with the Corolla Altis, it's still a good car. If you're looking for one second-hand market, there's a lot of choices for this car, and then engine choices is also a lot for this car. This car comes in 3 engine choices: a 2-liter, a 1.6, as well as a 1.8-liter. And then being a Toyota, it is quite reliable. The owner of this car has reported not much issue with his car. So yeah, I enjoy my time in the Corolla Altis. Not the best performance car. In a straight line, yes, the 2-liter engine is good, but in terms of handling, I would say the Civic or the Ford Focus is better. But overall, a decent package, a practical sedan, non-offensive looks, quite decent compact sedan overall. So with that, we come to the end of this video. If you like that video, do give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, as well as hitting the little small bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post something new on my channel. I would like to say thank you for watching. Stay safe, take care, and have a nice day.